So recently I decided I needed a wireless in-ear solution for my studio, give me a little flexibility to wander around while I'm working on things. But I didn't want to spend the kind of money we typically make our clients spend, which is upwards of $600 for a transmitter receiver and whatever for the in-earbuds. So I decided to find something else. So I went on Amazon.
Here we go again.
And I found this product at $99 and decided that was a good price point for what I'm doing. So when I got it, I took it out of the box and was kind of surprised. Number one, it has balanced inputs as well as unbalanced inputs. A power cord, well, that's kind of a given. And then it had 6 channels available, all in legal UHF bands. You can't really tell from the transmitter here, but you can tell from the receivers. Stereo mono switch, a monitoring system right on the unit if you want to listen to it, and 6 available frequency ranges. The body pack is plastic, but it's no chintzier than some of the Shure stuff that I've used. And it's got a simple indicator on top, a green light means you've got good reception. If it flashes red, you're getting multipath distortion. Volume control, and then obviously you've got frequency selection for the individual channels is on the side. Press the button to change channels. AA batteries. Don't know what the battery life's going to be like. I've been running this quite a while on fresh batteries and have not had any issues. The one thing that was surprising, however, these little earbuds that came with it, which are obviously cheap, because for $99, how much money could you possibly have in the earbuds? Put these in, listened to them, and right away they sounded good. And they had quite a bit of isolation for the money. The one thing I did not like is that when you had them in your ears, if you tapped the cable, you'd hear microphonic pickup into your ears. And that's because it doesn't have really good isolation, but for an earbud that's probably $5.
You basic.
Pretty amazing. And I'm guessing about 25 dB of isolation from what I was hearing. So I listened to it, I cranked up 0 VU into the transmitter, cranked up the receiver, put some bass boost on it from the console when I was working with it. Was able to get a really loud mix suitable for playing drums or bass or any of those applications with no problem. So then I said, let's wonder what it's going to sound like with something better. So I got out my Future Sonics in-ears, which don't have the microphonic problem because they have braided cables, but with these in-ears, it sounded spectacular, and it was 10 dB louder because of the sensitivity of this particular product. So then I was curious how it would work with regular studio headphones. So I got out my trusty AKGs, which are right here, which are 55 ohms. It was able to drive those up to adequate levels for anything I was doing. Not quite as loud as the Future Sonics, but definitely adequate. Then I got out my Shures, which are isolated a little better. And with these, same thing, plenty of level, good sound, everything about it was good. This system for any application within, in my case, I'm working within about a 50-foot range in here, totally adequate. So I decided to take the unit and take it outdoors. I went upstairs, out of the building, out into my driveway and down the driveway, and I was going up a floor and across. Antenna orientation was completely wrong for what I was doing. I was getting about 75 feet, and then I started to get the little bit of flashing red light. And it was very noticeable when it dropped out. You knew it was dropping out. But for something at this price point with this application, not a problem. The one thing I don't know is you've got 6 frequencies available. They're all in legal UHF bands for the FCC regulations currently. I want to bring in something to try to interfere with it, like another wireless system in the same ranges, not on top of it, but somewhere close, see how that behaves. But from the way it was behaving, it seemed really solid. So I'm guessing that the frequency tuning is fairly good. I don't know how multiples would do. You can use, obviously, multiple receivers. The question is, how many transmitters could you use at one time in the same space? So they call it recording studio monitoring and on-stage monitoring. I would have to say for on-stage monitoring, this thing has to be near you on stage, not out at your front of house mix position. And I'm guessing that this antenna, I've got it up at a reasonable height in here, may be able, like any device, if something really solid gets in between, you may have some issues. But for the money, I'd have to say it's a winner, at least in my opinion, unless it happens to die in the near future. And I'll use it enough to try to find that out and let you know.